Hello, this is Annette from Information Services. Today I'm going to talk to you about Google Drive. Google Drive is a file storage and file synchronization service created by Google. So with a basic Google account, and if you have a Gmail account, you do have a basic Google account, you are able to use up to 15 gigs of free cloud storage. So if you want to upload PDFs, documents, spreadsheets, videos, pictures, you can, and you'll be able to access them through multiple devices as long as you know your email and your password. It also synchronizes your work across devices. So for example, if you start working on a Google Doc at home on your home computer, and you had to leave and you needed to work on your phone, you don't have to worry about Google Docs on your computer and Google Docs on your phone having two separate copies of your work because everything is synchronized through Google Drive. Google Drive is also built for collaboration. So if you ever have trouble sending large files to people through email, if you have Google Drive, what you're able to do is upload that large file to your drive and share that file's basically a URL or a link to your Google Drive. So you don't have to worry about sending it through an email and it not going through. So today we're just going to talk about some of the basics in Google Drive, and hopefully this tutorial will help you in your cloud storage and collaboration needs. So let's get started. Before we begin, we should first start by getting the Google Drive handout. So what we need to do is go to the website, which is of course wellesleyfreelibrary.org. And then when you get here, you're going to see this window. Just go ahead and click at the bottom here, click here to the home page. And then when you see this menu starting with About, we're going to click on Services. And then under At the Library, we're going to click on Technology Classes. And so this page contains all of the technology classes that we usually do. And if you see that the class title is in green, that means there is a full text handout. So we're scrolling down to Google Suites classes, and we're going to Google Drive. So we're going to click on that. And I've already downloaded this, and I'll show you what that looks like. And you should get this PDF. It says Google Drive, Cloud Storage, and Workspace. So once you have the handout ready to go, we can start the class. To get to Google Drive, we're going to first sign into our Gmail account. So you would go to gmail.com, you'd get to this point where you would type in your email address and password. And then once you get into your inbox, it's going to look a lot like this. And once you get to your inbox, you're going to click on the overflow menu icon up here in the top right. It's usually by the monogram of your name. And so you're going to click on that. It's the Google Apps icon. And you're going to click on the Google Drive icon down here. Sometimes it's up here. You can actually move things around if you like. So I'm just going to click on that. And there you go. This is how you get to Google Drive from your email. So now that we're in Google Drive, let's go ahead and talk about the parts of Google Drive. So first let's talk about the main menu over here on the left. So you have the main menu and it starts with New. So up here, when you click on New, you're able to create a new folder, and we'll talk about creating folders later. You can upload a file from your computer, so if you have a flash drive or you have a file on your local computer that you'd like to upload to Google Drive, you can do that from here. You could also upload an entire folder. So if you have something that's been organized on a computer and you want to just upload it all together, you can do that with Google Drive. And you're also able to open blank documents of other Google Suites programs, such as Docs, Sheets, and Slides. So if you ever have trouble accessing Google Docs for whatever reason, from your email, you can go to Google Drive, because Google Drive will always be accessible. It is what connects all of the suite's programs together. You can create a blank document by going into Google Drive and clicking on New. So here you go. And then under New, we have My Drive. So My Drive is the main workspace. This is where you land on when you first sign into Google Drive. Under My Drive, you have Shared with Me. These are all the files that people have shared with you. So if they've sent it to you to view, or they've sent it to you so that you can work on, as long as you did not create it yourself, all the files should be here. They'll be organized by Shared with Me. Recent, these are files that you have recently received or files that you have recently worked on. Starred, these are files that you have starred, and what's great about starring an item is that you want to save that for items that you frequently open. So for example, if you have an SOP manual, you might want to star that so then you can quickly access it. So no matter how many items you add to your drive, it doesn't just get drowned amongst all the other files. It's easy to access from right here. And then of course you have trash. So trash, this is where if you ever want to clear up space in your Google Drive, it's going to be here. And it's going to stay here unless you clear out your trash. And we'll talk about that later in this video. And lastly, we have storage. Storage tells you how much space you have left. So if you have a basic Google account such as this, you have 15 gigs, and it tells you how much space you have. So you have 29, in this particular email, it's 29.2 megabytes. And if I want more storage, I can of course buy. So going back to My Drive, let's go ahead and talk about the different ways to view the items in My Drive. Because for some people, this is not the way they want to see their drive. So we're going to click up here. So right now we are in the list view. So I'm going to change the list view to grid view. So in grid view, instead of seeing the file, just the file names, you're going to see a preview of the file itself. And sometimes this is an easier way of finding what you need. So in this way, you're always going to, whenever you go into your main drive, you're going to have quick access. These are files that you have recently opened or worked on. And then it goes into folders. You'll notice that the folders and the files, which is down here, they never get mixed up. So if you ever want to keep things nice and clean, you want to create more folders, because the folders will not get mixed in with the files. So going back to list view, list view tells you a lot about what is in your Google Drive, because it tells you the file size. So if you look over here, it's going to say name, owner, last modified, and file size. So this will tell you how big the files are. And I want to draw your attention to this. Items that have been created, and these are items that have been created within Google, do not have file size because they don't take up any space in your 15 gigs. Now files that do not come from Google, such as Microsoft Word or just regular JPEG files, they will take up space in your the 15 gigs. So as you can see, these are two JPEGs, and one takes up 6 megabytes and one takes up 2 megabytes. So this is a good place to look at. If you feel that you're running out of space, you can actually check which files are taking up the most space. Also, you can change how things are viewed. So for example, if you click on name, you can view things in reverse alphabetical order, and if you click it again, you can view things in alphabetical order. You can view things based on what has been last modified by me, last opened by me. So if you're ever looking for a file, this is where you would go. And that is the main workspace, or the main menu, and the view of Google Drive. Now let's upload a file to Google Drive. So this is uploading a file from your computer onto Google Drive. So what you would need to do first is, of course, click on New, and then click on File Upload. And so from here, you're able to access files on your computer. So if you have an Apple, like I do, you'll see a similar Finder window. So I'm going to click on this file right here, this JPEG. I'm going to add it. So I'm going to click on the file, and then I'm going to click on Open down here. And the file will now be uploaded. So I'm going to click on Recent so I can check if the file has been uploaded. And as you can see, the file, which is Ming Ming Bo, has been uploaded. So that is uploading a file. Now, if I want to, I can actually delete this file as well. So in order to delete this, I would first need to right-click the file and then click on Remove down here at the bottom. Now, once I've done that, just to ensure that it is no longer in my drive, I need to go to Trash, and I need to right-click this item and then click on Delete Forever. So if I want to make sure something is gone from Google Drive and I won't be able to access it anymore, I need to click on Delete Forever. And there you go. That is uploading a file and deleting it. Now that we've uploaded a file from our computer, let's upload a file from our email, from our Gmail account. So in order to do that, we need to go back to our email. So I'm going to click on my email right here, and then I'm going to click on the email that contains a file. So the file is down here. Now when I hover my mouse over the file, I can click on this icon. It looks like a Google Drive icon with a little plus sign. I can click on Add to Drive right there, or if I first want to preview the file, especially if it's a picture, I can go ahead and do that, and the icon to Add to Drive is right there. So when you click on, or when I click on Add to my drive, as you can see, it's getting automatically added to my drive. And now, if I have a lot of files in my Google Drive, which I do, this file will be difficult to find. So what I want to do is click on Organize, and I can go ahead and choose a file or a folder that I have previously created. I can also create a new folder by clicking on this icon that says New Folder and just start a new folder, especially if I'm receiving a bit of new information. I'm going to go ahead and choose Photography, and then I'm going to click on Move. Then I'm going to go back to the My Drive tab, and instead of trying to find the file this way, what I can do is just go straight to Photography. I'm going to double click this folder, and the file is now there. And that is adding a file from your email to Google Drive. Creating folders in Google Drive is a great way of keeping your items in Google Drive organized because the folders never get mixed in with the rest of the files. They're always up here. And of course you can organize them in alphabetical order. So this is a good practice, especially when your Google Drive starts to fill up. So to create a folder, we're going to click on New, and then we're going to click on Folder, which is right up here. And this new window should appear. And we're going to rename this untitled folder. I'm going to call this one Slides, and then I'm going to click on Create. And so as you can see, the Slides folder has now appeared. Now what I can do is I can now populate the folder with items from my drive. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one. I'm going to right click this file. I'm going to click on Move To, and then I'm going to choose Slides, and then click on Move. Alternatively, I can also, where is that? I can also drag items. If I want to click this one and I want to add this to that folder, I could just click, hold and drag it up to the folder. And then I could double click the folder and see the 2 items that I have just added. So that is creating a folder and populating it. So finally, let's go ahead and share a file with someone else. And in order to do that, I need to locate the file that I want to share. So I'm going to share this one. I'm going to right-click the file, and then I'm going to click on Share. If you're familiar with sharing files in other Google Suites programs such as Docs, Sheets, and Slides, this window should look very familiar. So I can do one of 2 things. I can go ahead and type in the email address of the person I want to send it to, and just type in as many as I want, or I can send a link. So if I click on Copy a Link, I can get a URL for just this file, not all of my items in Drive. I could get a link for just this file that I want to send and put it in an email, put it in a private message window, and that person will have access to it if they just click on that link. So first let's do the email route. I'm going to type in my other email address right here, and this new window will pop up. So over here on the right, I can change the access of this person that I'm sending it to. So for example, if I keep it at editor, that person can do as much as I can to the same file. Or I can just make them a viewer and they can just view the file, or I can just make them a commenter where they can view the file and they can put some comments. Now over here in message, I can type out a message saying what I want this person to do with the file, and then once I'm done, I can click on send. So this is doing it by the email route. The other way, again, is to get a copy of the link. Now over here, I want to draw your attention to restricted. So right now, it is restricted to only people that have been added. So if I added people up here, that means they'll be able to access this link, but then no one else. So if someone gets sent the link, but they haven't been added to my list of my whitelisted list of people, they can't open the link if they're not signed into their Gmail. So I can change that to anyone with the link if I want to, especially if it's information that I want as many people as possible to get. I can change it to that. So right now, if I copy a link and I put this out on, say, if I go on Facebook and I just put the link right there, anyone who clicks on that link will now be able to view this file. So I don't have to whitelist anyone. Anyone can just view it as long as they have the link. So just keep in mind, you can either restrict or you can make sure anyone with the link can get it. And there you go. That is sharing a file on Google Drive. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that tutorial on Google Drive was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please contact whalemail3@minlib.net or live chat with an information services librarian from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 on the library website. So just go to wellesleyfreelibrary.org and click on that tiny chat bubble at the bottom if you have any questions. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.